This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Nick George.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a roofing company here in Colorado that's local and comes highly rated? One might be closer than you think. Today, I have the great pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Brian Barnes, with Colorado Family Roofing. Brian, how's it going?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, Nick.
Awesome. We're excited to learn all about you and your roofing company. If you would, just tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's Colorado Family Roofing. We're a 4-year-old company, but we've grown pretty substantially in those 4 years. We really focus on the aspect of learning and education more than anything else, because there's a huge gap in the roofing industry where you get a lot of the high pressure sales techniques that all these large companies are really good at. They're really good at hiring a bunch of door knockers that can do some high pressure closes. But when you're putting on something that's supposed to last 30 to 50 years and cost tens of thousands of dollars, we're kind of the opinion that you should know what you're getting into. So we do a lot of education up front. We build a really high quality roof on the back end, and that's kind of our business.
How did you get into this business?
So I actually had an HVAC company out to my house a long time ago, and our air conditioner wasn't working. I know it doesn't. I got to connect the dots here, so stay with me for a sec. But so the AC wasn't working, and the guy comes out and he's selling us this. He's like, the thing is shot. You got to get a brand new AC unit, and I'll leave the company out of it. But they were a local company. Really good sales guy, really slick. And so he gets us to sign this contract for a ridiculously expensive air conditioner. We have a pretty big house, but it is crazy expensive. I don't remember how much, but at the time I'm like, man, this is like 5 paychecks, like full paycheck. It is very expensive. So we have buyer's regret almost immediately after he leaves, because the guy was slick, like very good sales guy. We're like, man, we should probably get a second opinion before we commit to this kind of money. And so we call our friends up, like you should do in the first place. Like, hey, does anybody know a good HVAC, a good honest HVAC guy? And one of my cousins said, hey, I got a great guy, not a big company, but he knows what he's talking about. He comes over, looks at it. He replaces a $12 part, and the thing has been humming ever since. And so, and this was one of my experiences with the service industry. And so I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I'm so freaking frustrated. And this is, I mean, it's everything. Like our water heater went out at the same time. Like all these things are going wrong with our house with the service industry. And we get a door knocker comes in. He's a roofer, and he comes up and he looks at my roof and he's like, the roof is completely shot. And it's like the same story over and over again. I'm like, there's a large gap in the entire service industry market. I happen to know a little bit about the roofing industry, so that's the one I jumped into, and that's the ever since. And the motto was like, the reason why we named it Colorado Family Roofing is family actually stands for forget about me, I love you. We just wanted to be like client centric, education centric, honest. You know, the people that you could be like, a lot of houses we go to be like, you don't need a roof, but we could fix this pipe right here real quick for it's like $10. And like, oh my gosh, last guy quoted me at $20,000. Like, I know, that's why we started the business. Well, we do like selling roofs as well, but we more than anything, we just want folks to understand everything about the process and be honest.
What are some other you dispelled some already, which stole my thunder on my third question, but what are some myths and misconceptions in your industry that you haven't named that maybe people have anxiety about before they call, and you can dispel that?
Yeah, well, a lot of it, especially in our area, is storm damage, right? So that's where you get all these door knockers come pounding your door, and they're going to tell you, you got storm damage on your roof, you need to file a claim. And the problem is most of these guys, and I said a little bit before, but most of these guys are kids straight out of college. They get sold on, hey, you can make a ton of money over the summer, come knock doors. They're not roofing experts. And so they have no idea really what they're looking for. They get a quick demo of what hail damage looks like, and then they get a very long how to do high pressure sales technique meeting. And this is the vast majority, 95% of the roofing companies everywhere, statewide in Colorado as well, have this business model. So it's the same thing I ran into with the HVAC guy. Like, let's find these really slick sales guys that know nothing about HVAC or your system. We'll give them a little bit of industry knowledge and go sell them as much as possible for as much as possible. So the storm damage is one major one that folks really need to look out for, because these guys will go up there, and whether they know it or not, they're going to call every single defect on your roof or little ding hail damage. And then you go file a claim. You got a ding on your report for that. The inspector comes out, says, this isn't hail damage. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So that's one of them. I have about 10. I don't know how long this podcast is.
What's the other best one? If there's anything else you want to mention that people worry about in the roofing industry that you guys easily overcome with your first experience with people?
Yeah, well, I mean, our biggest objection is quality versus cost, right? So we build a very high quality roof. Like I said before, like this thing is supposed to last 50 years. So we build a roof that will last 50 years. And if it doesn't, then we put a warranty on it that is not going to depreciate until you're 50. So a lot of that has to come down with, and here's a huge problem in the roofing industry that still hasn't been fixed, is even the good roofers and even the good crews have no idea about ventilation. And ventilation and roofing goes hand in hand. It's a huge, huge deal. And 95% of the roofs that we're on are improperly or inadequately ventilated, meaning they're mixing ventilation systems, which cancels the ventilation system, voids the roof warranty. The roof lifetime gets cut in half, literally cut in half. You get a 50-year roof, it gets cut to probably 10 or 15, maybe 20 if you're lucky years, because the asphalt dries out. And that's the major problem with roofs and getting a new roof, is that asphalt. When you do the ventilation correctly, all of a sudden these roofs can last way longer. Manufacturer says 50 years. And the reason why the manufacturer says that is because they know that 95% of these roofers are screwing up. I honestly don't think the roofs are going to last 50 years. I think they're going to last about 30 to 35. But the manufacturer puts that stamp on it because they know most roofers are screwing up the ventilation system. They don't look at it. They don't fix it. So when you're 20 or 25, most time people move twice, so they don't have to worry about it anyway. But if that person's in the house for 25 years, they're going to call Owens Corning up and say, hey, my roof is degraded. You gave me a 50-year warranty. Owens Corning comes out and says, your roofer screwed up the ventilation system. Sorry, this is on you. That roofer has a workmanship warranty that lasts 5 years, maybe 10 at max. And so these guys are completely out of pocket on the roof that literally should have been the last roof in their lifetime. And so we fix that. We fix ventilation every single time. Almost every single roof we have to fix it.
Wow. Do you bring in subcontractors that are HVAC or to do that, or do you do that yourself?
No, it's not an HVAC deal. It's just the intake versus the exhaust, which is part of the roofing system.
Okay.
So, you got all those static vents on your roof. Most of them have half of what they need. And then if they do have those up there, they don't have enough intake vents underneath. And if they have those correctly, most people have those gable roofs, which cancels the ventilation system, or they mix a power attic vent with one of the static vents, which cancels the ventilation system. So all kinds of weird ways you can get into it. And if you did a 15-minute educational session on it with like Lamanco, which is one of the biggest ventilation providers out there, they'd tell every single one of your roofers exactly how to do it. And then the problem be solved. It takes 15 minutes and a little bit of time on every roof to do the calculation. But that's it. It's not hard. It's not complicated, which blows my mind why we're not getting this right as an industry.
We know that marketing is the heart of every business. Who are your target customers when it's not storming?
Yeah, it's really just homeowners that have a roof that's 20 to 25 years old. That vast majority of roofs aren't going to make it past 25, especially the ones that were put on, in the 90s or what have you. So that's
stay in the residential lane.
We do a lot of, we're probably 80% residential, 20% commercial. In the commercial space, we really kind of separate ourselves because, again, the same HVAC situation everything is built off this one HVAC guy. So God bless that guy, actually. But the same HVAC guy, most roofers go in and they're going to say, you need a completely new flat roof, EPDM or TPO roof system. And that cost is astronomical. Like those things are expensive, huge buildings. 90% of those roofs can get a coating on it, just a spray on coating. You clean it off, you put a coating on, you fix a couple of the things that are wrong with it, and you get a 20-year no leak warranty on that commercial building, whereas these TPO or EPDM roofs are only lasting 25, 30 years anyway. So for a fraction of the cost, you get 20 years, and that coating company is guaranteeing is going to last 20 years.
Since you have an unusual interest in pre-educating customers, have you ever thought about doing your own podcast?
I thought about it. Yeah, I started one. So we do kind of have, it's not a podcast, but I have a learning library on my website, coloradofamilyroofing.com. You click a link that says learning library, and I do a video a day, and it's all educational, just like this. And there's just gobs and gobs of videos. I'm a little behind on posts. I have probably 200 videos that need to be on there. There's probably 75 on there.
Are you just putting them on your website or anywhere else?
They're on Facebook. They're on Instagram, YouTube. We post them every day. So yeah, follow us on there and you'll get a lot of tips.
Wow, that's awesome. Outside of work, what do you do for fun?
So I coach my son's youth football team. He's in 7th grade, so I got one more year. I've been doing it since 3rd grade, and that fills up literally every other hour that I have available in the fall, and then we also do spring as well. But I love it, man. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself when football is done and he's in high school.
Brian, please tell our listeners one thing that they should absolutely take away from this podcast about Colorado Family Roofing.
The biggest thing, and I mean, I would love for you to call us and do an inspection, but the biggest thing that you got to take away is you got to call a roofer that knows what he's talking about. The door knocking industry, just shut the door on them. Like if they're out there door knocking, they're exactly like the HVAC guy that got me into this business. They're exactly like all these door knockers I've been talking about. Don't trust those guys. They don't know what they're talking about. Get a vetted family or friend to give you a call, give us a ring. And then one other, like we're probably the only roofer in the state that encourages 3 quotes, because it's super important, because you have all kinds of skills and abilities that are come out and take a look at your roof. And you're talking about a $20,000 to $30,000 purchase. You want to make sure you're very well informed. So hop on our website, get educated. There's also an ebook on there that I wrote that's got a ton of information on it. Do the education if you're in the market, and then call for the inspections.
What's the name of your ebook?
It's Roofing Secrets Revealed
by Brian Barnes.
Roofing Industry Secrets Revealed by Brian Barnes. Yes,
making sure you didn't have a different pen name.
Yeah, it's also on Amazon. I sold one. I think the minimum you can sell is $1.99. So I'm a published author.
It doesn't matter. You're an expert and you're published now.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and Colorado Family Roofing the very best moving forward.
I appreciate you having me. Thanks, sir.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfortcollins.com. That's gnpfortcollins.com, or call 970-438